Let's face it, cops don't mess around when it comes to what's riding in their holsters. If a pistol's got a badge of approval from law enforcement in 2025, you know it's been through the gauntlet. What's up, everyone? This is your boy Sully from Line45, and today we're running through the sidearms that have earned their keep in the holsters of American police departments. Not what looks good in a catalog, but what survives the beat. Before anything else, let me do this quick plug. Hit the like and subscribe buttons, all the buttons that you can see below. Don't forget to leave a comment too. I know it feels like a hassle, but those things help my channel a lot. Now let's get back to the good stuff. Glock 17 Gen 5. Glock's never been about flair. It's about function. And when you're talking about the Gen 5 Glock 17, you're looking at a pistol that's been tuned by decades of law enforcement use, then refined without losing what made it reliable in the first place. I've run this gun hard-range days classes, even out in nasty weather, and it's easy to see why so many departments are still issuing it in 2025. It's not just duty-capable, it is duty-ready right out of the box. This thing runs a 4.49-inch Glock Marksman barrel, and that's not just marketing fluff. The polygonal rifling paired with the improved crown does show up on target. I was punching cleaner holes at 25 yards than I ever did with my older Gen 3, and the barrel still looked brand new after 1,000 rounds. The trigger, yeah, it's still got that classic Glock feel, but the Gen 5 pull is smoother, more consistent, and snaps back with a fast reset. It's not match grade, but it's damn reliable, and you know exactly what you're getting every press. Glock also ditched those awkward finger grooves and gave us a grip that actually fits more hands. I've swapped back straps on the fly during training, and that magwell is not for looks. It actually helps during reloads under pressure. The ambidextrous slide stop came in handy more than once when running offhand drills, and the reversible mag release is perfect for southpaw shooters. It's small stuff like that, but when you're running drills back-to-back or carrying 12-hour shifts, that stuff adds up. Internally, the Gen 5's got the updated recoil spring assembly and a more robust extractor. Stuff you don't see until it matters. Field stripping is still stupid simple. And in terms of maintenance, you shouldn't have any problem. You could clean this thing blindfolded in a squad car. Departments like NYPD and LAPD are still issuing it because the damn thing just keeps going. Priced around $400 to $450 on contract, it's a rock-solid investment that outlasts trends and gimmicks. So yeah, the Glock 17. Gen 5 might not be flashy, but it's the kind of gun you trust when failure's not an option. But if modularity is more your style, stick around because the Sig P320 Carry is up next, and that thing's a whole different animal. Sig P320 Carry. Sig didn't just make the P320 Carry for the gun counter. They built it for real-world use, and you can tell the minute you start running it. I've put a few thousand rounds through mine over the last year in classes drills and some downright miserable weather. It's one of those pistols that doesn't just perform, it adapts. That's a huge reason why more and more police departments are issuing it. When you've got officers with different hand sizes, duty roles, and preferences, this gun's modular design is a game changer. The serialized fire control unit is the heart of the P320. It's this self-contained metal chassis you can drop into different grip modules and slide lengths. That means a department can issue the same gun across the board, but customize grip size or barrel length depending on whether it's going to patrol plainclothes or SWAT. The Carry model hits a sweet spot with a 3.9-inch carbon steel barrel, a full grip that takes 17-round mags, and just enough slide length for solid recoil control without being bulky on a belt. Shooting it feels natural. The trigger isn't your typical mushy striker-fired setup. It's got a smooth press with a clean wall and a short tactile reset. It breaks right around 6 pounds, but it feels lighter in motion. I've found it easy to shoot fast and accurately, and it recovers quickly between shots thanks to the dual recoil spring system. The grip module isn't aggressively textured like some polymer guns, but the stippling is grippy enough to lock in even if your hands are slick or gloved up. The nitron-coated stainless slide shrugs off sweat rain and holster wear. And being optics ready from the factory is a huge plus. Throw on a red dot, and it's duty ready with minimal setup. I've carried it appendix and strong side, and it balances out better than most compact duty pistols I've tried. Around $500 for agencies with contract pricing, it delivers a ton of value without compromising reliability. So if you're talking about a duty gun built for adaptability without sacrificing performance, the P320 Carry is absolutely the right call. But up next is a sidearm with American roots and serious grit. Then let me show you the M&P 2.0. Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0. The Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 earned its place in American police holsters because it feels like it was made with cops in mind from the ground up. I've carried this gun on duty and run it in training courses where you're pushing gear hard, and it's one of the few striker-fired pistols that genuinely feels built for the grind. Smith & Wesson took what worked with the original M&P and went to work on everything that didn't. What came out the other end was the 2.0. Refined, tougher, and more duty-ready than ever. It's chambered in 9mm and comes in both full-size and compact options. The full-size 4.6-inch model, which a lot of departments like the Chicago PD and several sheriff's offices have adopted, features a stainless steel chassis that runs almost the full length of the frame. That adds rigidity and cuts down on flex during recoil, and yeah, you feel it when you're hammering quick strings. It tracks flat and comes back on target faster than most guns in its class. The slide's stainless, finished in Armornite, a black night ride that holds up to salt sweat and everyday carry abuse better than you'd expect from a $550 duty pistol. But the grip is where this thing really shines. The 2.0 frame has an aggressive sandpaper-like texture that just locks your hand in. No slipping even when wet or gloved. You get 4 backstrap inserts, and they actually change the feel of the gun, not just gimmicks. The trigger is vastly improved from the original M&P. Clean, take-up crisp break, and a reset you can hear and feel without exaggeration. It's not Glock-like. It's better in a lot of ways, especially for shooters who want more tactile control under pressure. It uses steel 3-dot sights standard, but most duty models come optics ready these days, and Smith's core system makes it easy to mount red dots without fuss. Controls are ambidextrous, and the mag release is reversible, so it checks the box for lefties too. It runs standard 17-round mags in the full-size variant, and everything about it, from takedown to parts replacement, is built with service life in mind. Now, if you're looking for something even more rugged and military-rooted, the FN509 MRD takes it a step further. FN509 MRD FN doesn't cut corners, and the 509 MRD proves it. The first time I ran this thing through a high round count weekend class, it ate every type of ammo I fed it. Steel, brass hollow points, even some leftover reloads. And it didn't so much as hiccup. That's what I expect from a gun that was born out of the Army's MHS trials. The military passed on it, but law enforcement agencies have been paying attention. Departments like LAPD and others are issuing the 509 MRD now because it gives them that rare mix of durability, performance, and true optics integration right out of the box. The MRD setup isn't an afterthought. FN's low-profile optics mounting system is probably the best I've worked with on a factory gun. I've mounted both RMRs and Holosuns directly to the slide with the included plates and spacers. No extra gunsmithing, no weird fitment issues. And the best part, the suppressor height sights co-witness perfectly. That's huge for duty carry when you need backup irons to be reliable. Size-wise, this one rides that duty sweet spot. It's got a 4-inch cold hammer-forged barrel with a recessed crown, and the slide is stainless with a black PVD finish that shrugs off sweat and holster wear. The grip texture is aggressive, really aggressive, but not punishing. Even after long sessions, I didn't get hot spots or fatigue, and it stayed locked into my hand with gloves or wet palms. The full-size polymer frame has internal steel chassis rails that feel tank solid, and you can tell this thing was made to run hard well past the average duty cycle. Trigger's got a bit of take-up, but breaks clean at about 6.5 pounds with a short and firm reset. Controls are fully ambidextrous, no mods needed, and the 17-round steel mags drop free every time. I've used both factory 17s and the extended 24-round mags, and both run without a hiccup. At around $600 on contract pricing, it's not cheap, but it's built to last, and that kind of durability pays off when your sidearm is seeing real-world action. Now, if you want to switch gears to a duty pistol that takes a more high-end approach, you need to check out the Staccato P. Staccato P. There's something about the first mag, through a Staccato P, that just clicks, not in the over-the-top kind of way, but in how it feels when you're burning through rounds. I've shot a lot of striker-fired duty guns, but nothing comes close to how this 2011 platform performs under pressure. You can tell it was built with law enforcement input at every stage. This isn't just a high-speed range toy, it's a purpose-built tool, and that's exactly why agencies like the U.S. Marshals, SOG Texas Rangers, and a growing number of SWAT units are running it. The Staccato P runs a 4.4-inch stainless steel bull barrel, no bushing, paired with a full-length steel guide rod and a recoil spring that's been tuned so well the slide tracks flat, like it's on rails. Recoil feels more like a gentle shove than a flip, which makes staying on target feel unfairly easy. You're talking about a gun that can drill quarter-sized groups at 25 yards if you do your part, and that's straight out of the box. It's built on a double-stack aluminum frame mated to a polymer grip module that's contoured and textured just right. It's firm without being abrasive. It fits like a custom glove, and the extended beaver tail and undercut trigger guard give you that high locked-in grip you want when you're pushing fast strings. The flat-face trigger breaks clean around 4.5 pounds with zero creep and a short reset you can feel with gloves on. The thumb safeties are crisp and ambidextrous, and they fall exactly where they should. It's like every part was made to work with muscle memory. Mine's optics ready, and most duty setups run a direct mount RMR or SRO. The Dawson Precision iron sights co-witness clean and hold zero, even when you're banging them off barricades. Standard mags are 17 or 20 rounds, and they feed like clockwork. Even after 500 rounds with zero cleaning, the gun didn't stutter. It's expensive, no doubt, around $2,500 on contract pricing. But for units that need absolute performance and reliability when everything's on the line, the Staccato P doesn't just make sense, it feels like the answer. Next up, let's talk about the Heckler Koch VP9. Heckler Koch VP9. Running the HK VP9 feels like slipping behind the wheel of a German sports sedan. It's precise engineered to the teeth and doesn't cut corners. I've shot it in both range drills and side by side with other duty guns, and I'll tell you right now, the VP9 stands out. It's not the most issued gun nationwide, but the agencies that do carry it, like the Vermont State Police and several specialized tactical teams, picked it for good reason. You're looking at a sidearm that delivers top-tier ergonomics, out-of-the-box accuracy, and a trigger that punches above its weight class. The VP9 is a full-size striker-fired 9mm pistol with a 4.09-inch cold hammer-forged barrel. The slide is machined from steel and treated with a hostile environment finish, which is HK's ultra-durable coating that shrugs off sweat rain and holster wear like it's nothing. The grip frame is where this pistol shines. It ships with interchangeable backstraps and side panels, left, right, and rear, so you can tune the grip to fit your hand like a glove. I've set mine up to match my exact palm swell and finger length, and the difference in control during fast strings is night and day. The trigger is easily one of the best I've felt on a striker-fired pistol. It breaks clean around 5.4 pounds with a short reset that's audible and tactile. That translates to quicker follow-ups and more confidence when you're under the clock, or under pressure. It's also got charging supports at the rear of the slide, which sound gimmicky until you're clearing malfunctions with gloves or wet hands. Then they just make sense. Sights are standard 3-dot luminescent, but HK now offers optics-ready models that come with adapter plates for popular red dot footprints, like RMR and Holosun. Magazines are steel 15 or 17 rounds depending on variant, and they drop free with authority. Slide release levers are ambidextrous and oversized just right. Not too bulky, but easy to hit on reloads. The paddle mag release on the older models is a love it or leave it deal, but I've grown to like it. Price-wise, it comes in around $700, which makes it one of the pricier striker-fired options. But you're paying for HK build quality, and that shows. Now, this is the time you need to remember one of the OGs in terms of police-issued sidearms, which is the Sig Sauer P226. Sig Sauer P226. The Sig P226 is one of those guns that doesn't need to prove anything. I carried one back when .40 S&W was still king in law enforcement circles and later switched to the 9mm variant. Whether you're putting it through long training days or just drawing from retention on a quick qual, this gun performs like it was made for high-stakes work, because it was. Agencies like the DEA, NCIS, and state patrol units have relied on the P226 for years, and having run it extensively, I get why. It's a full-size hammer-fired pistol that runs a 4.4-inch cold hammer-forged barrel with a frame made of hard anodized aluminum alloy and a stainless steel slide. The finish on mine, which is Sig's Nitron, has stood up to sweat holster wear even a couple unplanned drops onto gravel, and it still cycles like butter. The all-metal construction gives it a solid feel about 34 ounces unloaded, which means you don't get the snappiness of lighter guns. Recoil is flat, and follow-ups are quick if you know how to manage the double-action or single-action trigger. Now that double-action first pull? Yeah, it's heavy, about 10 pounds, but it's smooth. Once you decock it after chambering around, you know exactly what you're working with. The single-action reset is where this gun sings. It breaks clean at just under 4.5 pounds with a reset that's short and tactile. I've always found that kind of control helps in high-stress shooting situations. You're not second-guessing your trigger pull. Standard P226 mags hold 15 rounds, but I usually run the 18-round mech guards, which feed flawlessly. The factory Siglite night sights are bright and durable, and the controls are placed right where they should be. The decocker slide stop and mag release are all intuitive. The grip isn't modular like newer polymer guns, but it's one of the most comfortable full-size grips I've shot. No slipping even when things get sweaty. Retail's no joke. It's around $1,000 depending on your variant, but it earns every cent with its reliability track record and durability. If your agency's still running hammer-fired guns, the P226 is what you want riding on your hip.